1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. Life Path 2 and those who are strongly associated with the number 2 vibration, a good way how to build a strong relationship with yourself where you start trusting yourself is through committing to some kind of a craft or hobby. And this kind of craft or hobby that you're committing yourself to is something that should require you to use your hands. You know, something that will require you to put something together to create something, because as the number 2 energy, like basically you are a nurturing energy that brings things to life. And like I've explained in other videos, because a lot of the times, you know, men who are strongly associated with this energy doesn't feel seen or represented, you know, and nurturing a business is the same as nurturing a child. You know, in the beginning, the child, like the business, requires a lot of currency, which is your money, and a lot of your time and dedication and your consistency. And in the beginning, like the business, the child doesn't have anything to offer but, you know, their presence, the love that you have for them, and the pure potential, you know, and just the love that you feel from your child. I know you can't compare a business and a child, but this is just me trying to break it down. But yes, the love that you have and just the energy and the pure potential, like that keeps you going, and it allows you to be consistent. And you consistently pour into this child or this business, you dedicate yourself to it. And over time, you are able to reap the rewards, because over time, this child will get to an age where they are potty trained, they are making their own breakfast, they're showering themselves and getting themselves ready, you know, and like the business, they are now providing for you. You are no longer pouring money into it. You know, this business is bringing in enough income where you can hire other people to replace you. You're now making money while you're sleeping, where now you're able to live your life because your child is old enough and wise enough, based on your teachings, your dedication, to basically live their best life, to be the best version of themselves that they want to be. And that makes you more prouder than anything else, because that was your intentions all along, to see this business through, to see this child through. So yeah, the number 2 energy is nurturing energy. It takes something and nurtures it. And the way how the number 2 energy can trust itself is, like I say, having some kind of a hobby, one that allows one to use their hands. And the reason why a hobby is important is because with this hobby, if you are building something, you're designing or you're creating, what's going to happen is when you're creating or designing or building or even cooking sometimes, you will run into problems and you will have to improvise. And it is the you improvising, that helps you to become a better problem solver. Because the number 2 energy, even though the number 2 energy is the mothering, nurturing energy and is very resourceful, often this number doesn't trust its ability to be resourceful. It's like the number 2 energy, like the mother, might have the idea and pitch it to the father, the number 1 energy, and then the number 1 energy is going to be confident and bold enough and have conviction to charge forward when it comes to that idea, and then the whole house gets to reap the benefits of it, which is the child, the number 3, the creative self-expression of the number 1 and the number 2. But say, for example, you don't have that number 1 energy around you. You don't have someone else to depend on. You have only yourself. And it's like, we want to be self-reliant, because when we're self-reliant, it makes us more confident within ourselves, and it makes us better people to be around, you know, because when we are unsure of ourselves, when we don't trust ourselves, we tend to have this clingy type energy about us. And if we have this clingy type energy about us, it can feel suffocating to other people. And people who embrace that energy about us more than likely are people who have certain things within themselves that they need to work on within themselves. And this could create like an addictive behavior where it's like people are pretty much like leeching off of each other's energy, but in a negative way. And this cannot end well. Like this won't end well. So yeah, the way you trust yourself is by investing in some kind of craft or hobby, something that you can truly get into, something that you will enjoy doing. Maybe something that you do, like say, for example, you like to paint, you like to cook, you like to knit. Maybe when you do this thing, you might donate it or give it to people in need, children in need, family in need, because the number 2 energy likes to be of service, likes to nurture and help others. So maybe the outcome of this hobby or this thing that you're doing is to give back, is to pay it forward. That will probably motivate you to do it. But in the process of you working on this thing, like I said, you run into dead ends, and in the process of solving problems, you come up with new and innovative way of being or doing. And when you are working on this project, if you do decide to take this on, basically when you do run into dead ends, instead of giving up and saying, okay, I don't have what I need around here, so, you know, I'll wait till I get to the store to make it happen. Figure out a way how to create a solution based on what you already have. Because one thing I've learned personally is that the universe always gives us everything that we need. So everything that you need to do whatever it is that you want to do is already within the space that you're in. You're just not realizing it, or you're just not aware of it because maybe you're so used to not checking in with that side of yourself. Like say, for example, you're stitching certain fabrics together to make a blanket and you run out of the fabric, but you didn't realize that you have boxes of clothing that you don't want or that you can't use or whatever, but they're good, you know, clothing or whatnot, and you decide to wash them again and cut them up and stitch them in. So now this thing, it's like, it's not only beautiful, but it means something to you because you utilize clothing or things that, you know, maybe you didn't want to let go of before, and you upcycled something. So you're also giving back to the environment, just to give a random example, you know. So challenge yourself when you run into challenges, when you are creating or when you're doing anything. And the more you challenge yourself and come up with solutions, and when you come up with solutions, make a note of it. Make a note and write about it. Like when you lay down in bed at night, write about, you know, today I was working on so-and-so, and I am so proud of myself that I thought that I wasn't going to be able to make it happen. And then I realized that I can make it happen, and I did this and that, and boom, I'm so happy of the outcome. Like that's going to help you to become more self-reliant, and being more self-reliant is going to help you to trust yourself more, where you're not checking with others to see, like, you know, what their opinion is on the decisions that you need to make. Like you're just moving forward and you're doing it. And it might not be a hobby or things like that. It just might be in everyday life. Like whenever you feel like you hit a dead end, push yourself and look for solutions around you because they're present. You're just not able to see them. And another thing too, when it comes to trusting yourself, make daily goals when it comes to your emotional way of being. Like pay attention to certain parts of yourself. Like say, for example, and I'm not saying this is you, but I'm just giving an example. Say you might come off a little petty at times, and you notice your pettiness. Maybe you've been called out for or whatnot, but you notice you're a little petty at times. So you're like, okay, I don't like being petty. You know, like being petty, I don't like the way it makes me feel. And you realize that, okay, I'm petty because I'm holding people accountable without their permission, you know, or I'm holding people accountable for what they did, and I'm not comfortable enough to speak up. So I figure out my own ways to get them back whenever I can. Like just holding that vibration is bad for your health, and it's manifesting things into your reality that you don't want to manifest into your reality. So you might set goals for yourself, where today you'll remind yourself that, you know, nothing is personal, and you realize nothing is personal by putting yourself in other people's shoes. Like, you know, people's selfishness might piss you off, but then look into yourself and see how you might be selfish, in a sense, like you might hold them accountable, not knowing what's going on with them emotionally, not knowing what they experienced in their childhood, not knowing what's going on with their digestion, their mental health, their gut, what's happening in their mind, things like that. Like, see their behavior within yourself with empathy to realize that nothing is personal. Nothing is never intentionally meant to be against you. And even when people are coming at you or trying to attack you, that is a reflection of what is happening within them, and still not for you to take personal. That's not your problem. That is theirs, you know, not yours. So setting daily emotional goals for yourself by becoming aware of the different parts of yourself that you want to work on, because you don't like the way it makes you come off. You don't like the kind of person that it presents you to be in this world. So you want to change that part of yourself. So you set goals, and every day you become a witness of yourself, and you notice basically the emotions whenever that part of you is going to be triggered, whenever you're going to start being petty, or you're going to start gaslighting or being passive. Like, instead of doing that, you observe the emotions being triggered, and you just pull yourself back from being that person. And again, at the end of every night, you celebrate your growth, and the areas that you didn't grow in, you record it. You write down, you know, what happened, what you think held you back, and how you could be better next time. And when you take control of your emotional world and how you choose to respond and react to people, and also trust your ability to solve problems and take action on those decisions by yourself without other people's validation or support, that will help you to trust yourself so much more. Number 2, if you are still here with me, please drop me a yellow heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.